thank you so much for coming in on this Thursday evening here. Listen, if you don't know me, you're gonna know me now. I'm Ayana Lewis Redway. I'm one of your hosts here for Indie Talks. Of course, my beautiful co-host Danielle could not be with us tonight, so we send her so much love. Kisses, Danny. And tonight, I have to say this. Like, I've listened to since I came to know you since 2020. I have listened to your music and it's just so amazing. And so we're gonna definitely get into this. And first of all, let's welcome the Mako Girls.
Hi.
What's up, everybody? What's up, everyone that's on the line?
We're excited to be here.
Yes, and introduce your name. So I don't want to torture the names. So introduce your names because I know we have Mimi, we have Anai. Yes, and Kina.
Yes, you got it. So yeah, so we can know who's who. What's up, y'all? Your girl Mimi.
I am Anai.
Yo, it's Kina.
And we're the Mako Girls.
Love it. Yes. And let's really get into this because you guys have such an incredible history in your start of music. 2013 Baby came together, and your sisters.
Yes, we are. People have been saying we're triplets for the past couple weeks, couple months. So I guess we're morphing into each other.
Yes. And then talk about like what inspired you to basically just to kind of take this pursuit and take it serious when it comes to not only singing but also performing your dancing.
Right.
I would say it was definitely the boy group Mom's Behavior that really like led us to be able to just like want to be a group, because we went for Kina's birthday and saw the documentary. Like, I'm telling you, nothing prior to this we was like, oh, we want to be a group. Like,
well, we had like a little bit with the dancing. We just wanted to just dance. Like, we would do it at parties. We started doing a little bit of talent shows like with our cousins. Like, that's where we was like getting into, but it was really just dance at first.
Yeah, then we was just like, oh, we can do that. Like, we want to travel with this, let's add some like vocals to it. So it was like, like 2013 is when we really was like, okay, let's become Mako Girls. Let's do this.
I think that was
wrote up a practice schedule, like
literally
these days and these days. No self-coaching practice.
At a young age too. And then I actually found our vocal coach. We kind of stamp it from there because we didn't even know we had vocal abilities. Like, we really was just like, let's just do it. And just so happened to actually have the gifts. So I feel like we just stamped it with the first vocal session we had as a group, as like the start of like Mako Girls. It took us for like the whole summer after to write our first song. So it was like a journey.
Wow.
Definitely.
Amazing. So let me ask a piggyback question. So even though you say you kind of tripped into your vocal ability, and once you found out that ability, like, hey, you know what? Oh, not only can we dance, like we got a little tune. So when was that one moment that each of you or maybe one of you just remembered where it was just like, oh yes, we gotta get serious. We have to like really do this and do this as a career.
Right. I think
I would say for me personally, it kind of like clicked a bit before the pandemic and a little after.
Okay.
Like a little bit during the pandemic.
We were so young. I feel like
I was saying, like, when we were so young doing this, we were like 14, 12, 10 years old. So like when we were younger, we were still wanting to kind of like hang out with friends and family and like still wanted to be a kid, which our parents thankfully did allow us to have a bit of that grace period. I wouldn't say it kind of clicked really until like around the pandemic time. We're like, okay, we're seeing like we're still growing. We're growing more with our vocal ability. We're voicing more of our opinions and stuff like that. I know, like, for me, when we're all like singing together and I start getting like chills, like, oh yeah,
from the harmony,
we're doing something right. So let's keep going.
Yes.
What is it? For me, it was when we started recording more songs that was more like vocal, like bass. So it wasn't as much, because there was a period with our music, we was just like
rap,
thugging, multiple songs back to back. But once we started really getting into the vocals and stuff, I was like, oh, we actually like, we sound good.
Okay. Right. I think for me, I'm kind of with Kina. Like 2018, I feel like when we started really developing our sound and hearing feedback from people, because there are the times when we were younger, we like, don't want to do it, don't want to go rehearsal. Like, we had those moments. So I feel like so many people
You're
be like,
young. You're still trying to get used to
we're
it.
young.
Yeah.
It's a lot to ask, especially because we had to be on social media, like posting like 3 times a day, and we were never posting on social media. So it was a lot, like to start switching up your lifestyle, really. But I think when we started getting feedback from people, like the fans, when we would do our concerts and people really show up, like we had 450 people at our own event we throw here. So we was like, I think that's when it clicked. Like there's a space for us, people really supporting and rocking, and that's what's like, yeah, we gotta stay locked in.
Love it, love it. And of course, as you're now developing and you're saying, okay, I'm taking this serious, and now you're continuing to make music and you're performing. Now I want to kind of talk about the influence of the music, right?
Okay, yeah.
You know, because I have West Indian heritage.
Yes.
So I want to talk about how does that shape each of you or all together as a group, and when you're writing the music and when you're performing the music and making sure that you're kind of staying true, not kind of, but you're staying true to yourself as an artist, and and representing your heritage.
Yeah, I feel like because a lot of the soca music has so much movement, like you just immediately start dancing. I feel like that's
Yes.
a big element that we take into creating. So it's sometimes hard to do a slower song because we're ready to dance. Like we want music
alive,
right? So I feel like that's really an element that's been added into all of our music. It's like we want to feel it and want to start moving immediately. And I think we take it into every song that we make. Anytime we're working with a writer, I feel like that's why sometimes it'd be a little scary because we're so nitpicky. We know what we're looking for. Sometimes it's harder to explain it. It's like when you hear it, it's like, okay, yeah, no. Every time this beat comes, like I gotta move. I can't help it. So I think that's where like our Caribbean, like West Indian background, they like to party. So we grew up partying. The song gotta feel like
forever the party house.
We're going to be partying to this song. So I think those elements be added into the creation of music.
Yes, yes. And of course, you got the just having the beats where it's just like you're able to move and dance and just feel the rhythm of it. Like it's so amazing. The one thing I also wanted to get into is obviously with you being sisters, right? Now we done been through the ages of girl groups.
Yes.
And of course, so talk about like your dynamic, because obviously, like I said, your blood. And so from all of the things that you hear when it comes to girl groups, like what makes you kind of like hold that bond together? Because I get it, I have siblings, we be getting them back and forth, you getting them tussles, be like, don't talk to me 1 minute, and you all
you're
on
back
them.
cool,
You're back cool again. So kind of talk about that and being able to explore that sister dynamic and be able to be professional as well, and be able to hold strong to your bond.
I would say with just being sisters in general, even outside of just being the Mako girls, like we grew up with the foundation that like your sisters is all you have and they'll have your back like to the end. So you have to one treat them with care and to respect each other. That's one thing that we really do. Like we prioritize communication and each other's boundaries, because like look, you could even just in life in general, even with other like relationships that we would have outside of like just like our household, like you have to talk to people the way that you want to be talked to, and then knowing not to overstep, knowing how to understand how someone else is feeling and not try to talk to them with spite, but actually like, okay, listen, this is how I feel and I want you to understand where I'm coming from this. Like communication is key. Literally, if you do not have that, you can't have any stable anything.
And you gotta sometimes tell them like it is, because we do it to each other all the time. We're like, look, girl,
you ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, I need you to clock in. Like, what are you doing?
So
I love it.
We know that we're not coming out of like, we're not telling you something just to be like spiteful. We're saying this because we like genuinely care. So like we want the best for you.
And I feel like the professionalism comes from like our upbringing of doing artist development. Like we went through like media training and all that kind of stuff. So we know how to come in a space correct and like leave everything else out the door. And then like when we go home, okay, use it,
right?
Whatever you want. Yeah, you let it out there. But when we get into a space, we it's like a switch literally comes on. We sometimes have to learn how to get out of it. Like just have fun, relax, show your personality. We're so used to like, okay, it's time to work. The camera's on. Okay, act right. Like this just in us. This program.
I would say that, and also like knowing each other's boundaries, or like learning where we're struggling at, because there'll be certain moments where we're kind of struggling. We won't say it, but we'll see it in each other's faces. You can see it in their face. You can read it like a book. So we're like, okay, let's step to the side. Let's work something out. Let's see where you're struggling at. Let's take a breath, calm down, and then let's get back into it, because we still gotta go ahead and work at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I love that. The key thing definitely that you said was knowing each other boundaries.
Yeah.
So that is amazing. And then of course, as you invite people in, so whether if it's producers, other artists, how do you set those boundaries with those outside of you?
I feel like because we come in so professional in a certain demeanor, I feel like a lot of people don't try too much stuff with us in the space. Like if we're in a space and we're getting ready to work, they notice we come in a certain way. They're like smoking or something, they put it away, or they're like
just went to an event the other day. Yeah, they noticed that with like our songs and stuff, like there was no cussing in it, and so when they was like speaking to us, they was trying to make sure not curse.
Yeah. So I feel like it's really the energy we bring in the room, and then we really go based off of energy, like how do we vibe together working, and then we start to relax. Okay, but we put that like standard out there first. This is how we're gonna come, so you don't get too comfortable, because we're not doing that.
I love it. Just to be able, because when you're able to step in a room and someone can literally see the energy that you have and that you're bringing, like it's the respect factor that they'll be able to give you, and that's amazing. I love it. I wish more people pay attention to that.
Right.
Oh my God. So just a sidebar. So what's the one thing or pet peeve that you guys have with each other, or one thing that gets on your nerves between each other?
Right now with Anai, she trains in Muay Thai, so she does not know how to stop trying to get me to do clinch work with her. It's these different moves that she wants to practice, and I'm like, I don't want to do it, and she's like, come here, corners me trying to practice this move on me. So yeah, that's right now my new pet peeve.
Gotcha.
Would you want to go?
You can go first.
I would say for me, is if they don't put things back the way I had it before.
Yeah, kids real
I am very nitpicky on
mine. I can't stand that.
I can't stand when that happens, because they'll be like, hey, can I borrow this? I'm like, yeah, sure. They'll take it, and it'll still be in the place that they had it. They're like, oh yeah, I was going to put it back. I was like, when? Next year? What if I needed it now? Yeah. Put it back.
Where I had it.
And my pet peeve is more so with Kina, because Kina's the most, like, out of all of us, our personalities, Kina's the most stubborn. Okay.
Yes,
and so very stubborn. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, Kina, you just got this. She was like, no, I didn't. And I was like, Kina, I wouldn't tell you this if you had it. Like,
the communication, we have to literally, when it's time to critique each other, we really have to like keep in mind, okay, let me say it nicely, so that way she don't like check out and start being like, oh, she's nitpicking. Like, yeah, that does happen. She's very stubborn.
Listen,
she moves so slow.
Yes. Oh like, if we're late, Kina will be late to her own funeral. Like, that's what our motto is for Kina.
So you basically gotta tell her the 2 hours early just to start.
Yes, literally.
And then
I've been catching up. I've been doing good, and I've been waiting on them the past few months.
But when we leave, she's still the last one to come out of the
because
house.
Somebody be sending me back to the house to grab something. Oh yeah, can you go back and grab this real quick? And then I'll go back in the house. Like, why are you in the house? I was grabbing something for so and so in the car. They needed it, so I had to go back inside and grab it.
Whatever.
Look at that. Still late.
Right,
still late. So anyway, Forrest, let's kind of go into, you guys just not only breaking barriers here within the US, but also internationally. Kind of talk about those experiences when it comes to performing, and how do you feel it differs when it comes to the US and also internationally when do you see that like as you're performing?
I would say, knowing how the crowd like receives our music, performing in the U.S., specifically like the ATL area, like it's very hype. Like you get a lot of feedback as you're out there rocking stage, and then when it comes to like out of the country, they're ststaring.
Yeah, so they're literally just there.
And then I'm like, oh, so
do they like
stage? It? They're like, oh no, you guys did so great. I'm like,
be out there giving your all, and they just looking.
Yeah,
out there giving it.
They literally just be staring, but we think because sometimes they don't see a lot of that. America's like so used to seeing it, so they just, especially in Atlanta. And I know somebody asked what part of Atlanta we're from. Well, we're from Decatur, really, but we say based in Atlanta because everybody knows in their little proximity. But with people here, they like super hype when somebody performs. Like we've been in so many spaces where they don't even have to know the music; they just gonna turn up. I think out of the country, like, and I was saying, they really just like in awe, to be honest.
Oh man. And as we transition from just being able to travel, you ladies, like you said, being from Atlanta, Decatur, and just being able to do this worldwide, right?
Yeah.
Talk about how does it feel to get so much recognition, because not only do a lot of times you're getting related to other groups and just really stepping out into your own, because you do have a uniqueness to your group. And then of course you're working with major brands and being on major platforms like BET and things of that nature. Like, how does it feel at this present time, as you know that you still have so much more to go, to gain this recognition for where you're at?
Oh,
I would say it's kind of unreal.
Yeah.
Because it's like, we work so hard to the point that we're so like gung-ho and focused on the work that when people are like, y'all did this, and we're like,
like it's just like another task
that
on
we're
the
like,
list.
oh, we made these, like, we built these different bonds, we worked with different brands, and we're like really climbing. So we're just like, it's just another day.
We can't see it for ourselves, but when other people like kind of let us know, like, oh my gosh, I see you guys working all the time, like you guys are doing great. Like that's when I know. So I'm like, oh wait, we're actually like making a move. We're making a standpoint with what we do. Like even at like the gym I go to, like the people are like, it is just so cool to see you guys. Like you're here training with us, and then out there you're on stage, you're performing at these things, and like accomplishing so much. Like y'all keep pushing, and that makes me be like, okay, I know I'm doing something right, so I just got to keep working, because if everyone's seeing some potential, I know that something's gonna work out.
I think when we're in the space where somebody doesn't know who we are, and then they meet us and they're like, oh my god, like this is literally what's missing, I feel like, okay, that gives me that boost again to like keep going and to like see that, okay, all this hard work, like us being able to be seen in all these different places where we don't see it sometimes, well, a lot of times we don't see it, but when they say something, that's when it starts to click, and that's when everything starts to make sense. Like, oh yeah, we really have done a lot. Or just reading down our resume to somebody, like, oh yeah, we've done this, we've done that, and then that's when it starts to click, like, oh yeah, we kind of done a lot. Independent as well. Hello, like we've really been making the strides on our own for 10 years and still not stopping.
It is beautiful.
Yeah, it is 11 years now. I gotta stop saying
It's beautiful. And let's go into the music, because the whole reason why we're here is because you guys have your latest single, Cut to the Chase. And like I said, I've been listening since 2020, as just some of the singles that you have been putting out, that little by little, the little bit that the teasers, I call them teasers, that you give, and then you did your EP in 2023. Talk about this single, because Cut to the Chase, you talk about the definition and what are you wanting your audience to take away from this single.
Yeah, so Cut to the Chase is really a song like basically saying, don't let a good girl go, a good person, like just go away, don't waste time, like literally just get to the point. We talk, it's really kind of playful too. It's like we talk on the phone all the time, you have your talking stage, but like, okay, we've been talking, so like let's get to the chase, like what are we doing? So I think the song is very personal, very relatable.
I would
to
say
people.
It's personal to me, because like there has been a moment where I'm like, okay, where are we going?
Yeah.
Is it moving or not? So I would say that's like, okay, like I'm done playing games. I'm ready. I wanna be there. But if I'm not gonna be your all, then I can bounce.
I know that's,
and trust me,
right.
Like,
that's the word.
I know I'm a good thing, like Black Girl
I'm
Magic.
chips.
Right. The whole meal period. So I think for us, like that's what the song is really giving. It's a bit of empowerment, and it's also like, putting it out there, like whatever you want to do, shoot your shot, like cut to
just
the
don't
chase.
play games.
Right, don't play games. Like let's go. And then just knowing your worth. Like I know I'm the whole package and some, so cut to the chase.
And then in choosing the production side or the team to be able to work with you to create this, because how did you know to be able to have that connection with the team to be able to jump on this, very confident and assertive, style of a song?
I think really first with even just like the creation of the song, it had to come with like the beat. The beat had to like speak to us. And so we had like put a post out there one day. It was like, hey, we're looking for beats for a new song. And so we had worked with this producer. His name is pronounced a different way. It's like a French name, so I don't want to butcher it on here. But he sent us a couple of beats, and so we used some of those for our projects and for this song specifically. And we was like, okay, we already was working with the writing team for the levels to this project. And so we was like, hey, we have this song and we have this topic of like, hey, we want to cut to the chase with somebody, like we want to like have this love song. It was like, okay, like let's stop playing, let's like get real. And so we pitched it to them and we gave them beat as well. So they gave us the song back because it was another version.
It was another version.
The song. So it wasn't going to sound like this. It sounded completely different. But we heard that one and it just didn't hit heavy. Like the vocals were a bit higher and we was like, no, the song, like this beat kind of heavy, it has to have that low resonating like voice with it or melody. So then we got the second song back and was like, this is it, this is the song,
this is the song we're looking for. And I feel like even with our creative team, like when it comes to performance and our videos, like visuals and choreography, shout out to Kiki Taylor, our trail, they really we played the song for them. They're like, oh my god, yes. Taylor's like, I want to choreograph this one. Like she had the whole vision, like the whole feel of the song. She was ready. They had the whole music video treatment. Like they seen the vision. So I'd be super excited to show the team that part. Like when we have the song finished and it's like, okay, it's time to create what you guys got. They'd be super excited. So I feel like that makes us more amped up and knowing that we're like moving in the right direction.
And I think that gets us like ready to work as well. Because as soon as they're like, yes, I got it, blueprint, let's go. And
I'm like, show us moves
right
now.
I love it. And what can you say throughout the process is the hardest part about basically like either songwriting or really dealing with like what do you feel is like the most hardest part for you? Is it being vulnerable or just the writing? Like what do you feel it is?
I feel like for me personally, it's not writing because I'm pretty good at it, but I think I'm so scared of like sounding like 2016 2017 us that I'm like so scared to start back writing because I don't want it to go backwards. I want to keep progressing, and people who's been working with us writing, they're just like their pen is really good, so I'm like I want us to just keep elevating. So I feel like it's a little more pressure there of like I want to make sure we're continuously elevating and like something we create don't make us go back, like slide back this way. So I feel like there's a little bit of like second guessing. Like I really be wanting to work with a team because I have ideas, but I feel like when I work with other people, it's like, okay, they can help tweak what I have in mind and make it stronger. Keena, but
I would say for me, it'll be the writing process sometimes because it takes too long for me.
Keena said it takes too long.
It takes too long, but Graves don't look. Granted,
Respect it.
It takes the longest.
I'll take the longest,
Slow.
but I'll come out with certain like bangers. Like, there'll be certain moments.
You slow get out the house and you slow writing. Hold on.
Right, Keena.
Look, I'll write. There'll be certain times where I'm listening to the beat and like nothing's coming to mind, but then there'll be something that'll be like pop, and it's like a good pop, like a pop, that one little pop moment. I'm like, okay, well then
that strong line.
That little one strong line. That's all I got.
Here you go. Do something with it.
But you know what? Before you go to the next one, I just want to say, but you know what? Even though it's that one strong line and it takes that time for you to be able to realize or hear that piece, that may be just the one piece that was needed to set the entire song. Yeah. You never know.
I feel like Keena actually does pretty good sometimes. Not sometimes. She does pretty good writing. I think it's just the cadence or how she wants to say it. Sometimes when I've been listening to people talk about writing, you have to really get quick into the point. And Keena's a very like, let me actually put the sentence together properly.
I have to make
like,
it make sense for my brain.
And like correct grammar. And it's like, no, we're writing a song. Take out because, is, was, like all those extra words that isn't necessary to get the point across. So she's not as bad as she probably project that she is. I think she just doesn't know how to like structure it once she has what she wants to say.
And it's a learning. And as you're going through this, it's a learning process. It's a
Yeah.
learning process for you all.
I would say mine is more so I can have a melody for how I think something should go. I just don't have the words for it. So I'm like, I'm
Just
stuck.
all around writing. We just want to get stronger at writing.
I love it. And as you continue to do this, you would definitely do that. And it's the fact that you are doing it and you're doing it in fear. So regardless of the fact that, you may be scared or you thinking like, well, I might go there. Don't go into imposter syndrome. Just go ahead, do it in fear, and tell you have guidance, and you guys have been doing so amazing thus far. And so my next question is, before we wrap up, first of all, I just want to say thank you to everyone that has been coming into the room. Thank you to the Mako girls, definitely, for really sitting and having this conversation with us. I love these one-to-ones. They're just so amazing and just so real.
Thank you.
And talk about, so since you've been doing music since, like you said, just when you guys came together, you started in 2013, you started really putting out music going into 2015, 2016, and really just taking those steps, right? Those baby steps until you get into this, where you are at this present time.
Yeah.
How do I know you say you're kind of scared to kind of go back, or kind of sound to go back.
Yeah.
How do you see, do you see the growth from you started into this point now? Because clearly, I mean, you're doing something right. Let's just say that.
Yeah, thank you. I think that's what it is. It's like when you guys be like, yeah, y'all, I see the growth. I think we can clearly see it, first of all, from the pictures.
Not even from the pictures, from the song,
from the outfit
to now.
The way how my voice has changed.
Yeah.
Back when I was 10 to now, like, I cringe listening to some of our older songs because I'm like, oh my God, I sound like a baby. Like, my voice is so, like, it was
so high.
I would say it kind of peaked for me when one of my friends found our old music video and decided to be like, oh, let me listen to it. I was like, you don't have to listen to it.
You don't have to
listen to it. And I heard it, and they're like, oh my gosh, y'all were like so young, and you had a little swooping, like y'all
had her
babies.
emo hair.
Like they're like, y'all were babies, and I was like, yeah. Play a new
video. I think now what made it stamp for me is like I actually be one to listen to our new music, because younger me was like, turn it, I don't want to hear it, I don't want to hear it. And now, like, with the music that we create, I'm like, why'd you skip that song? Like, go back. Like, those are the times where I'm like, okay, I know I'm getting more into our sound where it's playing in my playlist, and I'm like, oh, I hear myself skip. Like, I'm finally being like, okay, I want to hear my song. This sounds good. Like, it's in a good, like, the good playlist with the rest of the songs. It blends in with the artists that I'm actually like listening to or want to create. Like, so I think that's another reason. Like, when we used to do like playlist videos on our Instagram, so we'll make like pick a song or our EP and then put a bunch of songs together that can kind of complement it or match it. And then when it kind of blends together where I'm not like, oh, we stand out, I'm like, okay, we're actually getting to our sound. I'm feeling more confident in it. I'm really excited about where we're going. I can see the growth.
I love it. And before we get out of here, of course, I have 2 more questions before we wrap up. And as you continue, like you say, you see the growth and you see where you're going, obviously, with being individuals, the one thing about being an individual is that you have your own personality, you have your own, certain things that you want to do and you want to achieve. Where do you see the Mako girls going, and individually, what is it you inspired to do?
We all definitely tap into each thing that we're into. We do not hold back. We try to juggle. Anai's the best example of juggling every single thing she wants to do. So, Anai, I guess I'll let you start.
Well, like, outside of like Mako Girls, I do like training Muay Thai. I have a cosplay page, and where I've worked with brands like Nickelodeon. I've done something with Marvel and Netflix, so like those are actually going really well. So even with like those connections or those other interests that I do, I'm able to tie it in back to what we do as Mako Girls. Because even the LAN party that we do, like performances for all the time, like I have my own audience there as well that knows me from cosplay, so they all get into our music. So first, like, oh, you have some dope cosplays, oh, your music is great too. Like, it ties in everything
together.
For me, I am a streamer and cosplayer, so whenever I'm streaming, the first song that's playing for like the starting soon will be like our music to get our music out there.
Yeah.
I'm very well connected with the anime community.
Kita is, she's the plug.
I am the plug.
She's the plug.
I be getting us to shows. I'm selling our records.
But I need to ask you some questions because my son, he's getting into anime. I'm like, ooh, yeah. I'm lost. I'm lost.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got
you. It starts off that way.
But like I'll be having, but I'll be having like some of my friends, they'll be a part of like parties or like they know the person of the party. They're like, hey, my friend, she's in the girl group. Like they have like great songs. Like y'all should put them on the platform. So I got us into the LAN party to perform, and we've been performing with them for like a few months now.
They flew us out. Well, actually had us come out because we chose to drive, but they had us come out to New York to perform at Webster Hall for their after party there too. So their community support heavy. Shout out to them. We love them. Like they recognize us when we walk in. They have so much energy when we perform. Like I love them.
We even tapping in with like Trap Sushi, which is like a hip hop and anime like combined events where you hearing like all the like music and stuff, but you're also like getting the love of the anime community as well.
I love it.
For me, I am into like everything beauty, so hair, makeup, all of that is my world. I started growing my page, so shout out to me. I had like grown my page to 20K on TikTok and then 10K on my Instagram, just from me doing my hair videos and just like Keenan and I trying to figure out ways to tie in our music. On my videos, I'll use our music for my cute little hair videos. So hopefully like people be like, you know what, I'm gonna add that to my video next time. A lot of times you need like a good 45-second song. So I'm like, there you go. You can use our music. So that's what I've been doing. And I'm really excited for it because I just took a makeup class trying to do people's faces and everything. So I'm really trying to get it for real.
She did my face. I was so proud.
Yeah.
I love it. And I like the comment in here. Someone said winning a Grammy. I feel like this is definitely something we want to be able to manifest because you girls are amazing. I think we definitely still have something when it comes to girl groups because obviously we, like I said, we have been through years of phases of in and out when it comes to different girl groups, and so I just love the chemistry you guys have. I love the music you have, the songwriting. Like you said, there's something that you want to be able to continue to grow in. You have the makings of it, and I would love to see you on the Grammy stage.
Thank you. We're manifesting those two because we're looking at the big stages like the Coachella. We got the VMAs, but we honestly grew up, didn't even watch this stuff. So for us, we were like had to learn it all and then be like, okay,
critiquing like, we want that.
I want to perform like that next time. Like this is how I would do it. So we're excited to be put in those spaces and seeing so many people.
I'll say that and touring as well because we love to travel. So like touring more places like Japan, Brazil, like Africa, like just seeing those people and like enjoying our music and being in those spaces and especially like tapping into the culture, like that would be super amazing.
I love it. And then one last question, of course, my favorite question I have to ask everyone before we get out of here. With your growth and your continued artistry, as we continue to see this industry change and multiply with many of emerging artists, what words of encouragement would you like to give to artists who is coming up, who is kind of in that path of trying to figure it out, or maybe they figured it out somewhat and then just don't know what next direction to go? What's your words of encouragement?
Definitely know who you are, know what you like, know what your sound is, and know what makes you different from other people. Because in this industry, a lot of people are going to tell you who you should be, how you should act, what music you should do. But when you come in with that foundation of, hey, this is who I am, this is where I want to go with my music, no one can ever like replace you. No one can tell you, oh, well, you shouldn't be acting like this. Like, be confident in who you are, and it will help a ton as you grow in this industry.
I feel like I'll give like a task or something that you can do if you're an artist trying to like find your sound. I heard a producer, I don't know which one, can't remember, but it was a really good video. They said if you could like sit and try to create your dream album from top to bottom, and like from the beginning to the end, and like put artist music that you like to listen to that you wish was your song, and then you could start kind of figuring out what your sound is or what type of music you're missing in your catalog that you want to create. So I feel like we do that as well as for us as a group, because it's kind of hard for us to figure out who sounds like us mostly. So we create this to see what we're missing even in our catalog. What kind of music is it that we should be making? So I feel like for any artist out there trying to figure out your sound, like you don't really know, go ahead and make your dream album. Saying Nicki Minaj's song should have been my song. Like go from the top track to the last one, and then figure out, you can then kind of see what kind of artist you want to be, what kind of sound you want, and then see where your growth needs to come from.
I would say to like know the music, so know about split sheets, know about what's going on in the studio, everything like behind the scenes, because it is amazing to make music, to share your craft, but if you don't know the business end, you are going to get caught up a lot. So know the legal terms.
Read some contracts.
Because if they say, "Hey, I'm gonna take your likeness," I have ownership of your likeness.
In all universes, they literally take it to the extreme. Like
they'll take it to the max. I'm pretty sure they're gonna say next dimension next time. So just make sure you read the contract before you sign anything. Make sure you know the proper terms, lingo, split sheets, everything.
If you don't, get a lawyer.
Right?
Get a lawyer.
Get a lawyer.
And also just have fun with like rehearsing, with performing, just with anything. Because it's very like strenuous, and it becomes a task whenever you're doing like rehearsal. But if you're making it fun and you're making it like easy for you to catch up or easy for you to get, then that will make it like even more like amazing.
Child, y'all about to make me run up out my chair, because I was like, shout out to your team. Shout out to who was teaching y'all, because listen, whoo. I know some people that went through it. Okay. I love that. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. Once again, guys, thank you so much, the Mako Girls, just for being here, having this conversation. If you came in or you just now tuning in, I'm sorry you missed it, but we're gonna run it back. All right, on our YouTube channel. So make sure that you are following us, Genius R Us, on all platforms. Once again, we had the wonderful and the beautiful and sensational Mako Girls here with us. Ladies, thank you so much for just coming and sharing your gems, talking about your growth, your journey from start to the present. And we want to see you do so much more. And we want to see you on all the major stages. And you definitely have that to get there. So I pray nothing but blessings and nothing but love to you.
Thank you
so much for having us. And then thank you for even just, letting us be able to tell the world who we are, just be able to create more fans.
And you had a great energy as well. Like it's so fun to like interview with somebody who's like really giving you a conversation. So we appreciate your energy, because it makes our job so much easier when we could just have a fun conversation. So thank you for having us, and like also chatting with us.
Thank you. Next time you back in New York, or I'm there in Atlanta, I gotta come to y'all. I'm be in contact. Gotta get some in person happening now, okay? And I'm gonna hit you up, because y'all know you got the anime. I
got you.
We here, all right. So thank you so much, ladies. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
All right, you as well. Bye.